Okay, so I'm going to go over how to have your wiring done for your starter and your alternator. I already got them unbolted just to save time. But before you do any of that, always unplug your battery terminals. Typically, you'll be fine just unplugging your positive, but I always do both just to be on the safe side. It doesn't hurt to do both. Quick thing about this battery though, this is not the stock battery for this truck, so the posts are on the opposite side of what they normally would be. On a typical battery, stock battery for this truck, the negative would be on, from our perspective, be on the left, and the positive would be on the right. But because they are this way, I kind of had to adjust how I connect stuff because of that. But again, unplug your battery so you don't short anything out and cause a spark or anything, because that would be not good. Okay, and make sure your terminals or your cables are nowhere near touching or in danger of touching the posts by accident. You'll know your negative post by two different ways. It'll typically be black, and your negative and your positive will be red. But just in case if they're not, you can still figure out which is your negative by your battery will have a minus sign and your positive will have a plus sign. And if you're still not quite sure, you'll know your negative because it'll be grounded to your engine, and your positive, this thicker one, will be on your starter, connected to your starter. But I'll show you real quick where the negative would typically be bolted onto your engine. On this particular one, it might be different for yours, I'm not sure, but for this one, it's bolted onto the manifold. Hopefully my phone can catch this. It's kind of blurry. Let me pause this real quick and clean the lens out real quick. Okay, hopefully that'll help a little bit. Okay, but let's see. You see this end right here, this crimp right here, and you'll see this bolt. This is right underneath the manifold. It's actually the bolt for this. Sorry, I'm all over the place with the phone. That ground, it's grounded to the manifold right here where your thermostat would go. It's typically your thermostat is sandwiched between these two plates right here. But right underneath that is the bolt that your negative wire is bolted onto. Again, that's how you'll know your ground wire. That one end goes to your negative and the other goes to your engine. And again, the positive, if you follow it down, I mean there's so many wires down here, but I'll show you since I'm here what goes where. You don't mess with this one. If you see, try to get closer. If we're all sharing the same truck, the same engine, typically we should have the similar starter. But this bolt we don't want to mess with. You leave that alone. And this is where you would have the other end of your positive cable from your battery. This is where it would go. And this here, you see this, this is should be your ground. And where's the wire to it? Just had the thing. Let me pause and hunt it down real quick. I'll be right back. Okay. It was just hiding from me a little bit, but you'll know the connection for that because it just takes that one tooth. So this would be the female end, and this connection here on your starter is the male end. Let's see if I can get that connected without any issues. As it's gotten crowded in here since I've gotten all these other components in there, so many wires. So that's the only two wires that I see that I'm pretty sure that's all there is. So for your starter, you got that clip for the ground right here, and then that bigger one that has the boot, that's where your positive terminal goes to, the other end of the positive terminal or wire, positive wire. And since there's so much stuff here, now it's actually that much harder to get the alternator off from the top. Normally it had been a cakewalk just to pull it out from the top, but let me show you this. You see this connection? It's a two-prong connection, and you'll know it as one. Hopefully you can see that. One yellow wire and then one white wire. And they split off and fork between the stuff that goes towards the starter, towards the engine bay that way, and then towards the relay. But this specific clip with the white thick wire and the thin yellow wire, and every inch or so it has red dots on it. This goes to your alternator. Let me pause real quick. I gotta clean my hands. Okay, so this is where that two-prong that clip goes. That has the thick white power wire and the thin yellow wire with the red markings on it. Every inch or so, that goes here. And this connection here with the boot, you'll know what this one goes to. This wire right here will connect to it. I know we're upside down, but it's also marked with a battery. So these, let's see if I can see that clearly, because it's been a while since I've been there. Down here, the other end of this wire should be this one, I believe. And it goes to your positive end. And the other one, this side, important thing, you don't want these two to touch each other, otherwise you'll probably fry something, fry your, I don't know, it's bad, because this is your negative side, positive side. So that's why this boot is there as a barrier for protection. So this side, with no boot, these are your grounds. The smaller one that you see on top, that's the stock ground wire. I added this thicker gauge. It's actually welding wire. I added that just for, better ground. But it leads to the exact same spot as a stock one. If you follow it up from down there, follow it up here, it splits off and bolts onto your fender. And Yeah, that's where that goes. That's pretty much that's where that goes. And then you're from here, from that fender, the negative wire continues on to your negative post. But if you're having that no crank situation, like the guy I'm making this video for, he's got power to his accessories. His lights are turning on. And he's got power, but when he clicks, turns the ignition on, it just the engine just clicks once. So as always, as long as you know your battery's good, and check your battery, then that's good. And you've connected your alternator properly, and you've connected your starter properly. Check your grounds. On this, I don't know if it's for every Nissan, but on this truck, I've noticed that the grounds have that, after a while, they build up that greenish, bluish buildup. I don't know. I forget what it's called in the moment. But they built that up, a corrosion type deal. I forget what it is. On other vehicles, it's the positive, but again, on this particular vehicle, it's the grounds that do that. So again, follow your negative to your intake or to your engine. If it looks dirty, clean them. Clean both of them, because that might be your issue. Especially if your wiring is the original wiring, it won't hurt to either clean them or just buy new cable wires, both the negative and positive. Because ultimately, that's what I did. I replaced both, and that helped a lot. As well as adding this welding wire as ground in other areas. You also want to check your ground. This is the stock ground for your engine. The bolts from your valve cover to your firewall. And again, I added this welding wire as ground wire, and it's thicker gauge. From that same spot on the firewall to the engine block on this side. You also want to check the ground on your computer, because it is grounded. There's a small ground that goes to I don't know if I'll be able to, yeah, because the seat's in the way. It's pretty much. But if you can see that, here's the bigger one that I added, and there's right above it is a small one. They're from the bracket to the computer to this. See this portion right underneath is just the flooring of the. It's all metal from the truck. But on this side is where it's bolted onto. And again, when I was having issues, similar issues, these ends were corroded. They had that green bluish buildup. Clean out all your grounds if you're able to. Make sure that they're okay. But hopefully that will help you out as far as the wiring goes. And I'll see you. I've just got to put all this stuff back together, and good luck with your issues, and I'll see you.